everything. All that and more you'll see. Just stay right here with me.
So here I've got all but one of my trees attached to a headband with hot glue, and as you can see, the trees in the front have posable roots. Now to show you how to make the trees, and it's actually really easy. They're made out of paper lunch bags, and I used the large size since I do have a larger head. I cut the open end of the bag into 8 sections while it was still flat and folded, and I cut about halfway down the bag. The length is preference as it determines the height of the trunk and the length of the branches. Then I sat the base of the bag flat on my table and twisted the part of the bag that's not cut. It doesn't matter which direction you twist, just make sure it's nice and tight. I did secure mine with a bit of hot glue to make sure it didn't untwist. Since this was one of the back trees, it didn't need to have roots and I only wanted a few branches, so I separated the strips into 3 mostly equal sections, and I twisted them just as I did with the trunk of the tree, and I secured the ends with a bit of hot glue. As you can see, I placed the back trees with the flat part as the base since I wanted them to have branches, and I placed the front trees flat side up since I wanted them to have roots. And for the front trees, I twisted a small piece of wire into the roots while I was forming them so I could pose them, and I puffed up the flat part of the front trees to have a good base for my leaves. Now for the leaves. I cut a bunch of leaves out of 2 shades of green tissue paper, and I just used one of those scrapbooking paper punches in the shape of a leaf, which made the process very easy. But if you're going to try this using the same method, I found that you need to have quite a few layers of tissue paper for the punch to go through it cleanly, or else the paper will just rip since it's so delicate. I found 16 to be the perfect number of layers of tissue paper. To attach the leaves, I just put a dot of hot glue and placed them on the bag, slightly overlapping them and varying the angle here and there. One eternity later, I had all of the leaves attached. Then I wanted to give the trees a bit more texture, so I added a bit of paint. I started with a medium brown acrylic paint, and I just painted small strokes in the same direction of the creases in the trees. Then I switched to a color barely lighter than the paper bags, and this acted as a bit of a highlight, and I still just painted small strokes here and there. Next, I mixed up a gray shade with a hint of brown since trees are normally a bit ashy in color, and again, just small brush strokes here and there. Last, I used a darker gray to darken up a few areas, mainly next to all of the creases in the trees. Congratulations, you have made it to my end screen. Click that top link to check out this headpiece in action, or click that bottom link to check out a video that YouTube's robots think you'll like. And if you want to make sure you don't miss a single video from me in the future, click that little circle with my face in it to subscribe.